You're watching Utah's #1 news station. This is 2 News at 5.
I had no idea he was coming today.
This is McGarry's class.
A Utah soldier surprises his children when he shows up to their school while they think he's serving overseas. It's a heartwarming and tearful family reunion you'll only see on 2 News. Thank you so much for being with us for 2 News at 5. It was an emotional reunion in South Weber today for 5 little children and their dad. Their dad's been deployed with the Air Force, but today he showed up at their school for a huge surprise. Roxanne Vainuku joins us now live with this story. What a sweet reunion for this family, Roxanne.
So sweet, Shauna. Major Matthew Hoyt has been away for 5 months this deployment. He was away for 7 months before that, so these kids are missing their dad. Well, he was supposed to come home at the end of the month. He came home early. And 2 News was there when these 5 little kids saw their dad for the first time in a long time.
This is a day when we honor those who have served in our military.
When South Weber Elementary School held its early Memorial Day assembly,
We probably have some boys and girls out there whose parents might be serving in the military right now.
they called all the children from military families to take the stage.
Maybe your moms, maybe your dads, maybe your cousins.
All 5 Hoyt kids proudly took their place.
Kenny, Amber.
The Hoyts know very well what it's like to have a loved one serving.
I'm so proud of my dad, and he's been a great example to me.
Olivia, Kaya, Amber, Kenny, and Sammy haven't seen their dad in months.
They've been thinking that I wouldn't get home until the 31st of May.
What they don't know is that this message from their dad
Hi, sweethearts.
isn't a recording like they've been told.
I miss you so much.
Their dad's right behind that curtain.
I had one favor I wanted to ask you guys.
He's about to give them the greatest surprise they could imagine.
Can you come give your dad a hug? Where are you guys at?
After 5 months apart this deployment,
Miss you, sweetheart.
Major Matthew Hoyt is home.
Can't believe it. Best surprise ever. I had no idea he was coming today.
There's no more counting the months he's been away.
I thought he was coming on the 31st, but he's home finally, and I'm just amazing.
No more counting the days until he comes back home.
Just to be able to see the reaction and the love that they have for their dad, that was all worth it.
Now the Hoyts will count every minute they're together, each day a blessing.
Got a lot of stuff to make up for.
Yes, the Hoyt kids know what it's like to have a loved one serving, but tonight all they know,
Was that a good surprise?
all that really matters, is their daddy is back home.
I'm gonna just make sure that he stays home, never leaves again.
Major Hoyt is a family practitioner. He's based out of Hill. He doesn't know if he'll be deployed again or when he'll be deployed again, but he says right now he's just focused on enjoying the time he does have with his family. Back to you.
And obviously they're going to make the most of it. Those little girls were thrilled. All right, Roxanne, thanks so much. Well, a runaway teen in a stolen SUV crashes with another car and kills a woman. On Sunday, a 17-year-old ran away from a school for troubled youth, then broke into a home and stole an SUV. The teen led police on a chase through Provo and eventually crashed into the back of a vehicle that was carrying an elderly couple inside. The 65-year-old woman died. The man was sent to the hospital in critical condition. The teen ran from the scene of the accident but was quickly caught by police and arrested. Millions of dollars worth of drugs are off the streets after a massive meth bust in Salt Lake County. Mexican drug lords thought they had a customer, but it turned out to be the Drug Enforcement Administration. Rod Decker live in Salt Lake City, and this was a huge undercover operation, right, Rod?
Over a year. There have been arrests they've made before this one based on this undercover operation, and they hope they aren't finished yet.
The cartel was very, very secretive once it crossed the border. About an hour outside of Salt Lake, we received a phone call.
Drug enforcement undercover agents pretended to be big drug buyers, and when the Sinaloa Mexican drug cartel delivered, the agents grabbed the drug runners and 57 pounds of almost pure methamphetamine.
All of this methamphetamine was destined for Salt Lake City.
These square ones were hidden in the roof of the cab of the truck. These round ones were hidden in a PVC pipe. This is the end of a long-term successful undercover operation for the DEA. In all, they got 125 pounds of methamphetamine, 7 pounds of heroin, and $500,000 in seized assets. They hope to catch kingpins in Mexico.
Through this undercover operation, we've identified command and control elements within Mexico that we're anticipating indicting them down the road, and that will put a crushing blow on this cell of the Sinaloa cartel.
So they've got a lot of drugs on a bus at 10 p.m. last night. It's recent. They've done some arrests before. They hope some arrests continue to come. They're not telling all the details of this operation. They won't say who they arrested or even how many people they arrested last night. But this is a good day for the DEA. Back to the studio.
Getting those drugs off the streets. All right, Rod, thanks. A massive landslide shut down the roads 6 months ago, making cabins and agricultural land above Cedar City inaccessible. But now, just in time for Memorial Day weekend, road crews in southern Utah will open up a dirt road bypass on State Route 14. Ladd Egan live in southern Utah with the story. And Ladd, this is really welcome news for those who use that road often.
Oh yeah, it's great news for them, especially for the ranchers, the homeowners, or the tourists that have been taking a 2-hour-long detour to get around this rock slide. Now, they should open up a dirt road this weekend, but just as things are looking promising, there was a new rock slide over the weekend, and that has engineers worried. Weeks of non-stop digging and dumping. And finally, workers have cut through the massive rock slide.
It was over 100 feet deep.
The October 8th slide destroyed a half-mile of State Route 14, leaving behind a mountain of dirt and rocks as big as houses. The slide shut the canyon completely, cutting off tourism dollars in places like Duck Creek Village.
It was a tough winter for them. Not a lot of snow, and typically they get snowmobilers.
We've got the mild venison stick.
Timothy Hansen sells wild game jerky at the mouth of the canyon. He has to break the bad news to car after car.
Well, a lot of people want to know, where do I go around? Where do I go to? What's the next route?
He's hoping business picks up this Memorial Day weekend as UDOT opens the canyon for holiday travelers.
Well, I'm sure we're going to have a swell of people, a flow of people just going to want to go enjoy that ride.
While the actual highway isn't finished, crews are preparing a dirt road passage.
Yeah, if you've got a vehicle, you should be able to make it through.
But one thing threatens the plan. This past weekend, another part of the mountain gave way, sending trees and rocks onto the road. UDOT says it's secured more money to stabilize that part of the mountain as well.
We're going to be watching that very closely because that could be a determining factor on whether or not we can get people through safely.
This dirt road will open 3 p.m. Thursday and stay open all Memorial Day weekend, and it will shut Tuesday morning. After that, UDOT does plan to open it up in the overnight hours so that ranchers can get their livestock through to get up to some grazing grounds. But Shauna, all this depends on that area that's moving again. They're going to monitor it and make sure that it's not going to cause a safety problem. Back to you.
All right, Ladd, thanks. Those 2 extra seconds it takes to put on your seatbelt could save your life. The Utah Department of Public Safety wants to reduce the number of deaths on Utah roads, so it's teaming up with other law enforcement authorities in a campaign to raise awareness of the life-saving importance of wearing your seatbelt.
The goal is to get motorists, passengers to buckle up every trip, every time.
The Click It or Ticket campaign promises more officers out and about during these next 2 weeks to check for seatbelts. The campaign continues from now until June the 3rd, just in time for all those Memorial Day travelers. Organizers say it's Shark Tank meets American Idol. We're talking about a major contest going on right now at the Salt Palace. It's called Grow America. Dan Ruscone live at the Salt Palace now. We're talking about a lot of money at stake, Dan.
Yeah, we really are, Shauna. We're talking about $250,000 here at stake. So there's a lot of competition, a lot of people here. We're inside the Salt Palace where it's happening just behind us. The final show here, we started with more than 1,000 contestants here. They narrowed it down to 100 this morning, and now they're down to 12.
This is all about job creation.
100 entrepreneurs.
Just apply a little bit on.
Hollerad produces glasses-free, 3D animated full-color holograms.
Giving their best sales pitch.
This is Snap Daddy's barbecue sauce.
Protex hand guard, it's for archers.
It's 100% juice, no sugar added.
To win thousands of dollars in prize money.
They have high-quality ingredients. They're wonderful for you. They make you feel good. We should win.
The competition is called Grow America. Organizers say it's Shark Tank meets American Idol.
Next up, we're going to have Happy Monkey Hummus.
Each of the 100 contestants have 3 minutes to make their case to the judges.
We use organically based ingredients.
The judges then have 4 minutes to ask questions.
What differentiates you? Is it the brand?
The 100 competitors were picked from hundreds of contestants who submitted videos and their proposal. They are broken up into 3 different categories. Their sales pitches are taking place in 9 different rooms here at the Salt Palace. The judges only picked 12 contestants, 4 from each category. Those finalists compete for $250,000 in prize money.
And we're giving away a lot of money.
Alan Hull is the founder of Grow America. This is his first of 3 more competitions this year for people trying to start up a business.
There's a lot of little companies who start and they get to a point where they need capital, they can't get a bank loan, they've run out of their own cash. This is a place where we can give them money. It's free money. There's no obligation. It's not a loan. It's a grant of free money.
And back live here inside the Salt Palace. This is contestant number 6 right now. They've announced 6 of the 12. The other 6 have no idea who they are right now. But again, $250,000 at stake here. Some of these contestants can win anywhere from $100,000 to $1,000, depending on what prize or what competition as far as they win in the categories that they're in. So they hope to have this wrapped up by 6:30 or so. We'll definitely have the winners on tonight on 2 News at 10 o'clock. Shauna, back to you.
So Dan, each time they make a cut, do they have to represent their product and their idea again?
Yeah, I mean, they basically have done this several times.
Wow.
From they started with a video and then they went before judges during that 100-person competition, and now they're back again doing their 3-minute competition or 3-minute presentation before judges again. So yes, they have to keep doing it over and over again.
It's a lot of work, but a pretty great prize. All right,
yeah.
Dan, thanks. Well, teens, we know they love to text, some sending hundreds of texts every single day. And even parents who have access to their teen's phone may not be seeing everything they're texting. We'll show you how kids can send and receive secret texts. Whooping cough, which was nearly eliminated back in the 1970s, is making a comeback. Find out why cases are on the rise, even though many kids are getting vaccinated for the disease.
Only 3 times has it ever been this hot in May. I'll tell you how hot and when the cool down comes in the fresh air forecast.